Black. Poetic G.
King George. I'm the owner of T.Y.I Productions. I'm the curator of Black 31 magazine. Again, I am on the line for the second time with brother Avery Brown. This is a brother who's currently incarcerated right now. This brother is a profound book author, and he's making his ways through the book industry. And this book industry is also a way for him to be out of prison, but also shed light to the world on the beautiful things that he is doing with his writing. So without further ado, can we please give it up for brother Avery Brown? Let's go.
All right.
Yes. So listen, man, thank you again for coming on for a second time. First and foremost, I just want to ask you, man, what is the current mind state that you are in right now?
My current mind state is I'm at peace and blessed, man, at all times. Like, I stay in a good state of mind. I pray, I meditate. I stay focused. I stay read. You know what I'm saying? I keep myself up and keep my spirits up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And truthfully, right? Where does all that inspiration come from to write the second book?
Oh man, the inspiration for my second book was just a continued manifestation from the first book. Like my first book was a dedication to my partner S.I. Garner Tyree. Staten Island got murdered by the police, right? So the first book was a dedication to him, and this book is just like a continuation of that. It's a 4-part series, so just a continuation of that. So the motivation to keep my bro name alive, that's the primary focus of me writing this book, and the secondary focus of this book is just to bring like a black voice to the world of fantasy, something that I think is really not apparent in the literature world.
Yes, absolutely. And I did a little bit of research diving into the first book, Blood Sagas Part 1, right?
Right.
And I was intrigued by the name of the characters. So the name of the characters, like Fat Pockets, like No Love. What?
Right.
Like, how did you get the name of those characters, and what was the thought behind those characters?
Honestly, I've been a heavy fantasy guy since I've been a kid. From comic books, Marvel comic books, to DC comic books, to just reading books, novels, The Hunger Games, or Game of Thrones, and I just wanted names that was more relatable to like my people, not so much as black names, but just names that you might know somebody in the hood named a Fat Pockets that might be a hustler, or somebody that eats a lot, or just somebody that names fit him. So I just wanted to use names that was fitting, and at the same time that could like be that could be understood basically to a reader. Like, okay, I can see why they call this guy No Love. So I kind of want to have characters with names that match their characters, and at the same time, I don't want to have the same run-of-the-mill names. I wanted my name to be reflective of the people that I grew up around in my neighborhood.
Absolutely. And also the design of the characters, man. Like I see the design of the characters are like very, very creative, and specifically again, why did you select those specific type characters, and what most importantly, what do these characters mean in the community?
All right. Well, the characters I said, I wanted characters that it was going to be really profound and paramount characters that you would be able to remember. Like the characters in particular, like the Shines. Like the Shines, when you see the Shines, because most of the Shines are represented by a scar on their face, and the scar represents any time that the Shine was killed, and they had to go back and get revenge for the Shine that was killed and cut the guy's head off and bring it back to the family so they could have a burial for the said person. They would receive a spiritual scar, which was a representation of their loyalty to their fallen comrade. So that's like one significant character about the Shines. And then you got like let me see, like the mob that they stamp on their face, like the mob on their neck, so you know where they are when you see them. So like I said, I wanted the characters to be different from any fancy characters you regularly see or you regularly read about, like long beards and rolling around in the woods, running around with a bunch of mesh metal along them. I wanted my characters to be black. I wanted them to be loud. You know what I'm saying? I wanted them to be revolutionary, outspoken. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I wanted them to coincide with what they represented, like the Shines fight against oppression. The Marvel's Outlaw. You got Baron Black. He fights against oppression. You got Diablo Bassa of Hispanic descent. He fights against oppression. So I just wanted the characters to be symbolic of people that we see in the everyday world, like whether that be Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or even El Chapo or Fidel Castro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I want these characters to be reflective of real people that you might have come across or read about.
Yes, absolutely. And since we have the second book, you said the second book is dropping what, March?
March 11th on my birthday.
Okay, March 11th. March 11th. Absolutely, and that's a birthday present too, brother. Absolutely.
Right.
Do you feel the second book is even more deeper than the first book?
Oh yeah, the second book is crazy. Like the first book was just really an introduction to the characters, introduction to me, introduction to the plot line and the story and theme of what was going on. Now the second book is just expounding more on that. Now you get to see in detail what these characters are about, what they mean to the story, what they do to furtherance of the story. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a fantasy reader and writer, and this right here that I put together is like nothing that I ever read. The storyline doesn't follow anything that you could readily attach it to or identify with by way of another story or book. It's like all original. You know what I mean? So, and that's how I wanted this book to be, and I wanted to have that impact. My first book, like I said, I've been communicating with a lot of my readers, especially my female readers. They felt like I was a little misogynistic or a little heavy-handed on the way I treated the females in the book. But like I said, it was just setting the book up. This second book is really dedicated to women, black women in particular, and the intelligence and the sacrifices that black women made to preserve the family and preserve our cultures and ways of life. So this book right here is really a dedication to the power of women.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Now, when it comes to the Blood Saga book, do you plan on extending this into a series just like they did Harry Potter?
Yo, definitely. This is going to be big. Like I said, I'm about 2 years in, and now we're starting to actually get some good reception. All my reviews are amazing. It's starting to take, just being I'm incarcerated is kind of hard because I can't do pop-ups, I can't do sign-ins, I can't, really let people see who I am. So that kind of is a hindrance in that, and only in that way. But now that the book is taking people to see that the story is original, I've actually had a book offer from a company in London called Angry Robot Books, right? But they want to actually buy the story, but they wasn't talking the right money, and they kind of wanted to take it into a different direction after I got it started. And I kind of just, like I said, I'll just keep it and push it. You know what I mean? So it's going to be the way I want to say it. I'm going to represent the black peoples in the greatest light, the way I want us represented. You know what I mean? Not just no token scenes or no shoe cleaners or shoe shines or horse tenders or thieves. Nah, I got blacks in prominent roles that are leading the story. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, would you want to turn this also into a movie series also from the book?
Definitely, because this content is too original. I'm thinking right now, like I'm putting part 2 out now in March. I'm going to probably try to put part 3 out next year, which would be Blood and Sacrifice. But like I said, this is a 4-book series, right? I already got the prequel series in my head that I'm going to start after I finish the 4th book, which will be the Death Sagas, which are also referred to in the Blood Saga story. I'm also working on another book right now, Black Vampire book that's going to be different. That's a total different spin on the vampire outlook. And I got 2 other books down the pipe. Like I said, all my stories are going to be original, different, nuances on the fantasy realm.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. And honestly, brother, what actually got you into the fantasy world of books and movies and things like that?
Oh man, the lack of representation of us in the fantasy realm of books and movies and things like that. Like I was seeing a lot of people. I've been locked up 18 years, right? With no commercials. So I hear a lot of dudes talk about Game of Thrones, right? So Game of Thrones, I look at that, and the Hunger Games, I look at that, and Harry Potter, and what's the other one? The Twilight series, the Divergent series. Yes. And I've read all those books. I've seen all those books. I've seen all those movies. And those books and movies, although they were great books, went on to become phenomenal movies. They had any real black representation. So I was rather kind of pissed off at the fact that here you had these great supposed authors that was able to create a whole world and really made the black or brown person inclusive in this world. Like you take Game of Thrones, for instance, they had one black character in Game of Thrones and he was a gay pirate. And that really kind of like pissed me off, you know what I mean? Because that was a big phenomenal series that they try to kind of make it right with House of Dragons and make us inclusive then, but it's too late. We should have been inclusive. You know, you can't have a world without blacks.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, and I didn't like that. And in Harry Potter, we got any real representation. Divergent series, we got any real representation. So all these big books and big, that whenever become big TV series or movies, they didn't represent us. And I didn't like the fact they just represented one class of people in the whole world. You know what I mean? That one class of people don't run the whole world. They didn't make the whole world. So it should be inclusive of everybody. Even Marvel got that right with the Avengers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it made a black Captain America, Iron Man, war guy, the guy who's the black Iron Man guy, Black Panther. So I mean, they got it right. So I don't see how these people can get it right.
Absolutely, brother. And a question that I really gotta ask, right? Who are some of your favorite book authors?
Honestly, I can't really say. I like all black authors. I just like black authors, even though I've done virgin work, pure work that you put it out there. Because, like I said, we don't have a big voice in the literature world. But my favorite characters probably would be books authored by would probably be like Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Jonathan Jackson, Blood in My Eyes, Soul Dad Brothers, books like that, like a lot of revolutionary books. You know what I mean? Because I'm really not into fantasy aside from when I want to do this book to show that blacks can do great fantasy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, brother. Because when I hear you speak, I can tell you a prolific brother, profound brother. It sounds like a lot of Black Panther in you. So I was like, it do have you thinking like, damn, what made you dive into fantasy and love fantasy and turn it into something that's relatable to the community.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I got that in my family. Black Panthers. I call the Black Panthers, but I mean, if had I been growing in that time, I'd have probably been more B.L.A. than Black Panther with the Black Liberation Army. I just felt like they was a little more hands-on and aggressive. You know, shout out to Shakur and all of them. You know what I mean? That would have been more my take to the revolution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to land on that topic of Assata Shakur, right? We know that was the aunt of Tupac Shakur, right?
Right, that was actually his stepmom.
Oh, actually his stepmom. Wow.
Yeah. But Assata Shakur brother, Assata Shakur brother was married to Tupac Shakur's mother. And that's what brought on his revolutionary spirit. He learned that from his stepfather and Assata and them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
How important was the impact of Tupac Shakur on the community?
I mean, like I said, that's the era I grew up on at 50 years old now, so I was like directly impacted by that time. I mean, I just think Tupac really brought, I like this rap. I have other rappers I like better, like Biggie, but I mean, as a person and as a revolutionary, I respect him to the utmost because I think he brought a conscious voice to us that was needed at the time, and he was like unapologetically black. You know what I'm saying? I admire and salute for that. He didn't speak to the keys to pacify anybody. He spoke his truth, you know what I'm saying? And his truth was what was needed to be said, but we didn't have the soldiers to say it. So I definitely applaud him in that aspect that he brought to the forefront what needed to be said. I just thought he just got a little misguided in his later years around the wrong people.
Yes, absolutely. I got a question. I got a good question. I'm not sure if I asked you this in the first interview, but I just want to know personally, what do you love most about yourself?
That I found my truth. Man. Let me see. I've been running these streets since the 80s, man. Like I came out the house like 86, 87. Now I look at a lot of these podcasts on TV and on the internet and YouTube, and I was a baby of that, like the 80s. Like I came up in Bushy Project, and I ran behind some guys. From like Beverly Stock and Sumner, just to name a few, like my cousin Weibo or Black Knowledge or Hash and Little John. Monk with these guys from Sumner and my partners from Marcy, Mailbox, just the dudes that I came up with are pretty infamous, right? And they and just coming up under that era now to what I see now with a lot of these young dudes, it was just completely different. Like back then, you knew who you was. You know what I'm saying? Like you understood yourself, and you just fell into whoever you fell into it with. That's who you was with. So I was like a direct child of Bushwick and Bedford Stuyvesant. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what kind of brought me up. And that's the era I came up in, like 86, 87. I was already out the house, whether I was going to Manhattan, following behind them, rushing the store, or snatching diamonds, or whatever the hell we was doing, you know what I mean? But I was out there.
Yes. Absolutely.
And now, that was my truth, you know what I'm saying? Running around, back then, robbing jewelry stores and armored trucks, whatever the hell we was doing, we was really getting at it. And that was my truth. But now, after spending all this time in incarceration, I've been incarcerated in the feds. I've been to trial in the feds, Blue Trial, me and my partner, for Mars, my partner Mailbox, who went to trial, Blue. I've been through that. And now, Blue Trial here in Atlanta, I've been locked up 18 years. I know I've been living my truth. And my truth is that, I've been meant to write. I just was expressing myself through the wrong mediums as far as like being in the street. You know what I'm saying? So now I found the medium I need to express myself in, which is these books, because I love to write. And I love to articulate my words. I love to illuminate situations that people can't really see until it's probably put out there for them to understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So even in my book, although it's fantasy, you will see the fight against oppression that's going on right now as we speak, right here in America. You know what I'm saying? If we can come together, black, brown, Spanish, whatever, put our differences aside, we have a much more powerful voice if we was able to unify. You know what I'm saying? That's really what my book was about.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
That's special, man. That's very special. That's very special. And knowing that you are from New York, right? This is a question I always wanted to know. Like, what is the difference between all 5 boroughs of New York? What's the difference?
That's a good one, because I done messed around in all the boroughs except leave Manhattan. I done lived in Staten Island. I grew up in group homes in Staten Island, Mount Loretta. That's where I actually met my partner S.I. And a group home way out in Tottenville called Mount Loretta. Then I was another group home West Brighton in West Brighton on Castleton Avenue, Staten Island as a kid. I was in group homes in the Bronx. I was in group homes in Far Rockaway. And I think, let me see, Brooklyn. I'm gonna just say Brooklyn. Oh man, just being that's my brother. Speaking of biasly, I just think it's probably about the most energetic. You know what I'm saying? The most charismatic. Like somebody from Brooklyn when somebody from Brooklyn is around. Like you could be in a club or center and you got 10 guys from the Bronx, 10 guys from Queens, 10 guys from Manhattan, 10 guys from Staten Island. But when 2 guys from Brooklyn come in, them 2's from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's just our originality. Not to take away from all the boroughs, because every borough has their own significance. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the Bronx is just more like they might even more unified in the way they stuck together. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, even though we are kind of fragmented and secular as far as socially though. I could be from Bed-Stuy, have beef with somebody from Red Hook. I could be from Fort Greene, have beef with somebody from Coney Island. See, the Bronx is not that secular in that way. They kind of all stick together. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let me see, Queens is kind of solidified in that way too. They about the money, you know what I'm saying? They about getting that bread, you know what I'm saying, styling. And then you got Harlem, really out there, boisterous, braggadocious, you know what I'm saying? Grandiose type, you know what I'm saying? Get to the money, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, then you got Staten Island. They kind of remind me of like Brooklyn, because they kind of stick together, even though they were kind of secular too. Like Park Hill might have beef with West Brighton or New Brighton or stuff like that. But like I said, when Brooklyn is in the building, Brooklyn is in the building. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's just us as being the way the harbors was set up and the people was coming here, immigrants and all that was the first place you came through Brooklyn. Like if you live there, you can live anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I remember one time a guy told me in the feds, I met this old Italian guy, this is way back in the 90s, I was in Lewisburg, and he told me, he said, you know the difference between a guy from Brooklyn and a guy from Harlem? And I said, nah, what's the difference? He said, you show a guy from Harlem $1 million, he's going to say, let's make $10 million. You show a guy from Brooklyn $1 million, he's going to kill you and take it. And I think it's growing up for kids. You listen to the song like the South Bronx today. Brooklyn keep Bronx keep creating it. Brooklyn keep on taking it.
Yep.
Queens keep making it higher. I forgot what it go, but it announced to that Brooklyn was the takers, was the robbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the era I came up in.
Absolutely, man. Hey, man, the times, man. So throughout all them times, that you grew up in, right? what's some of the greatest what's one of the greatest memories that you had just growing up in that time?
I don't know. It's so many, man. It's so many. And I done spread all over Brooklyn. I done been around a lot of different crews, man. I done been around, like I said, dudes from Bed-Stuy, like, you know, oh man, Bushwick, Sumner was like the dudes that really first brought me out the house. Like, I can remember my cousin Rebo was the first person to put a gun in my hand when I was like 12, 11, and gave me a 22 to go see a girl somewhere, in Sumner. And then I got even further on. I remember thinking of what back in the day, we were selling dope heroin. Me and some dudes I met from Nostrand, BB and Enoch and Little Ralph. We used to all be on Kosciuszko and Malcolm X back in the day selling Goodyear Black Stamp.
Yeah.
So, man, I mean, but more direct to your question was just, I guess, at that time was being young, getting money, being able to go downtown, Dr. J's, and buying chuckers, or whether we was buying Nintendo video games. You know, at the end of the day, you 12, 13, you're going downtown with like $1,500 in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Buying whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Going to school the next day and like, yo, having that money, like, yo, I'm out here. Like, you know, the world was moving fast then in the 80s, 87, you had crack out. But if you were just able to bridge that gap at being 12, 13 to do it like 18, 19, 20, and be able to just kind of like manifest yourself a position where you was able to get some money that beyond your means at that time, you just stood out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And how prosperous was those times?
Man, it was very prosperous. Like I said, I mean, you know, I did a lot of the wrong things with the money that I got, but like I said, at that time for my mom, it was great. Like I said, it was great to be able to have Bally's and Chuckers and 40 Belows and polo coats. When you're 12, 13, you go up in Macy's and A&S and get whatever you want without the aid of your parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you come home and you got to hide some of your clothes in one of your partners' house because you can't explain to your mom how you just got about 4 or 5 pairs of Guess jeans and some Bally's and British Walkers, whatever the hell we was getting. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But man, like, yeah, it was not like the 80s. I think to me, as a comparison to now, to these young dudes that's out there now, like they got no guidance, no understanding, and really like no respect. Like I actually seen not too long ago a young girl beating her grandmother on Instagram.
Yeah.
I seen a young boy beating his mother on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? Like, that's something that would have been unheard of in like the 80s and 90s. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, and then I seen the other day, like, you got like little dudes, like, I don't know if they were Chicago, I don't know what exactly, I want to say Chicago or Cleveland. But it was broad daylight walking in the streets with like machine gun weapons, like Army certified weapons. Like, what the fuck going on? These dudes 12, 13 carrying this shit, like, yo, that's people are doing that.
Absolutely, man. We gotta, man, I feel like we got a fallen generation, man, we got a fallen generation, man, of a lot of different children being exposed to so many different things in their homes.
Yeah.
We like a lot of things that they don't speak about is what's going on in the city.
Yeah, definitely.
So many kids are in these different programs and they being abused at home, bro.
Yeah, and it's causing kids to fall to the wayside. And I mean, and it's not only is it causing kids to fall to the wayside, it's giving them tunnel vision. Like they think their only means of support and survival is to the streets, and that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm actually about to start this program now called the GAP program, nonprofit, which is gang and prison prevention. Me myself being a gang member at one time, I know that I infused and influxed a lot of the violence that took place in years back. But I got away from that, and I see now, like I'm trying to get back, like trying to show these dudes at 12, 13, 14, you don't need to be running around thinking about catching a body or killing somebody, killing the op. You know what I'm saying? Now you need to be thinking about being in school, killing them books. You know what I'm saying? To get busy and get your mind right for what's to come, because it's not going to get any better. You know what I'm saying? And start understanding these real ops. So the real ops is the suppression that we're facing. Like to the point now, it's like, if a kid is killed by police, it's just, hey, the kid must have done something stupid. Or it's just common acceptance of this. You know what I'm saying? And that's not right. You know what I'm saying? We putting these kids on defense before they even get a chance to understand their childhood. 10, 11, instead of playing basketball or think about girls, 10, 11, they think about not getting killed or not getting killed by the police. For nothing.
Absolutely.
Like it's really literally never for a 10, 11-year-old boy to get killed by the police on a mistake and it just gets swept under the rug. And that's what these 10, 11-year-olds are facing, as opposed to facing what's the new video game out or what's the new Nintendo game out. Like my days when we came out, or who could beat the game in one man, or discover some secret code to a video game or something like that. There's some new pants or there's some new clothes. At 10, 11, these dudes are worried about actually killing or being killed.
Absolutely.
So the mindset got to be totally reset, man. We need a big reset.
Yep. Absolutely, man. A huge reset in the culture. And you know what, man? We have some programs that help, but I feel like we just need more programs, man. We need true big brother mentoring, fathers involved.
Yeah.
We need the men back involved, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
We got too many, honestly, man. And you know, at one point, we needed it, but like we have too many women involved.
Right.
And the young boys, they don't need that. They need to hear from the men.
Right. But I'm gonna say, yeah, we do have to be more men inclusive, but it's just that being that the men are avoided for whatever reasons, incarceration, death, whatever. I guess the women are forced into this position. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But you know, I think it's just not only the men. It's a lot. We got to find the things that the YNs are guided by, which is the music, which is the culture. You know what I'm saying? This is perpetuated by the rappers. Yeah. So the rappers, not to say that they're to blame, because the dude want to rap about what he want to rap about. He got to get his check, he got to feed his family. But these rappers need to be more conscientious that what they rapping about is what's perpetuating the violence that we constantly dealing with on a everyday basis. Because these young kids are looking at them and for guidance and the lack of absence of the male figures that we need. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So they got to be accountable. Then you can listen to some of the rappers now, but they say the big industry labels, they pay us an extra $500,000 to talk about drilling, or they pay us an extra $100,000 to talk about using this type of gun. That's why we rap about it. Okay, so if you understand that you're being puppeted and prostituted for the money, you got to understand they're using you to puppet and prostitute this young generation. Like you can look at TV sometime on Instagram and see a 5-year-old girl singing Pound Town. What the fuck is a 5-year-old girl doing singing Pound Town?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. That level of sexuality, that hyper-visited sexuality that these kids are understanding and experiencing is just ridiculous. You know, maybe that's due to technology, because anything you want to know is at the touch of a phone now. You know, we didn't have phones when we was coming up 86, 87. There was no phone. It was actually real pay phones. You used the cord and you called and you was like a star. You was doing that. You know what I'm saying? But now it's so much readily information, whether sexual violence or whatever, at the hands of these kids, man. And there's no monitoration with it. It's just really too much information, too much stimulation for these young minds.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Over sexualizing the generation, bro. That's what honestly been going on in the streets. And,
for real. They want our men to be homos and our women to be whores.
Yep. Absolutely, man. That way we all twisted up.
Yeah. But I think we turn it, man. I think we turn it around now. I think we got to turn it around. I mean, if not, then we're going to end destruction and ruin. But like I said, I'm doing my part with these books, getting this book out there. Absolutely. Like I said, when this book catch on, start seeing people, you got to use your mind. You can do things. I got like I said, this non-profit that's coming out. I got my partner, another big brother out here in Atlanta. My partner Ruggs. He's a young entrepreneur. He owns one of the hottest restaurants in Atlanta, Copper Cove. You know what I'm saying? I got my partner Eldorado Red, a big up-and-coming rap out of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So it's things that these young brothers could do besides negativity to get the money they make or get the clothes that they want. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Without going to them streets. We just got to show them and start opening up their minds to it. That's why it's going to take a lot of these young entrepreneurs and these young black brothers that's out there doing it to take a step back and pull some of these kids along with it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And why should the next young brother be inspired by you?
Man, because I know I'm not the only one with this type of imagination, man. And I know a lot of these dudes that think like I think. They might see a movie or see a TV show and be like, man, I did that better than that. But we're not being given these opportunities, so we got to make these opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So me have my own publishing company, Think Twisted Publishing. You know, any little dude that I come across, I think got a story to tell. I'm gonna put them out there. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't no doubt in my mind within the next year or two, I'm going to be a name to be reckoned with in that book world. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because I just know my stories are too unique or too different and too black, and that's what I like, you know what I mean? So I know the next year or two, I'm going to be up there. Once I can get into the door, I'm going to bring everybody behind me, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it takes, man. These gatekeepers, whether it's music, writing, screenplays, or whatever, they got to open the doors to more of the people that need it and stop trying to impress these elites, man. And, you know, remember where they come from, man, and to bring these young dudes up, bring these young females up, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We can do more than hair and nails and barbershops, you know what I'm saying? We more than that. You know, we kings and queens and gods, and we come from greatness, you know what I'm saying? We be just socially and mentally detached throughout the slave disparity that we've been going through in this constant oppression, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I said, we need to turn the corner, man. I don't care where you're from. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Right now, I've been everywhere. Brooklyn, Chicago, Philly, Miami, Atlanta, Tennessee, Alabama, California, Compton, Watts. I've been all around the United States doing my thing, getting to it, right? And like I said, I'm not the only person like me, so I say that to say, all you brothers that hear this, or you females that hear this in your 30s and your 40s and 50s, take a second to look back, man, at the kids that's 10, 15, and 25, because you'll see yourself in them, man, and you see yourself in them, then you need to identify with that and give them that guidance, man, and let them know what they're headed for, you know what I'm saying? At 50, you got a lot to tell. At 40, you got a lot to tell. At 30, you got a lot to tell. So at 20, you got a lot to tell. So you see these kids that's 10, 12, 15 that idolize you, take a second to tell them what that's all about. Like, yo, not to be idolized, you persevered through a lot of adversities that made you the person you are. And that's why you're shining. But let them know that they don't got to go through that hardship that we did. You know what I'm saying? I've been going to McDonald's since I was 15 years old. I've been to Caxsacky, Attica, Clinton, Comstock, Lewisburg, USP, Atlanta, Estelle, Talladega, Armpart, every prison in Georgia. And that's not good. That's not that impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, these verses I had to go through, then they're getting killed and doing the shit I've been doing going crazy. That's not nothing I want this next generation to go through. Learn from me. You know what I'm saying? Show, like, this is not what it's about, man. Y'all got you got your whole life ahead of you. Take that, man. Freedom is such a precious thing. Life is such a precious thing. Not to be squandered or taken just frivolously, you know what I'm saying? So, like, all these people that's doing anything, just take a second to reach back for 2, 3, 4 generations. You 30, you need to holler at somebody that's 20. You need to holler at somebody 15. You need to holler at somebody that's 10. If you're 30, holler about some 20, 15, and whatever you are, you need to holler back the generations behind you. You know what I'm saying? For each generation, man, pick a kid to talk to, man. That's the only way we're going to make this shit work, man. Women, man, we got to start teaching these young dudes not to be like us, as opposed to what we went through, but to be like us into the aspect of what we can be with hard work and perseverance. You know what I'm saying? The gun game is over with. The gangster shit is over with. Niggas is rats. Niggas is telling. The female, that shit is over with. Get you a good woman to chill, fucking on the broads. That ain't what it's about. Get you a good woman to build, man. Right now, I love that you got dudes like Denzel Washington. He's married to his black queen. He been with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely.
You got dudes like Magic Johnson. He's married to his black queen. He been with her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you young dudes, get you a good woman that's about what you about. You be about what she's about, and y'all build together, man. Right now, it's time for power couples, man. Like I said, the gun shit, you just gonna get killed. You get 1 million years like me, doing 2 life sentences plus 65 years in Georgia and stuck. And that's not what I want for this young generation. But they don't mind giving you that time. That's what y'all big homies ain't telling y'all. When you go out there and steal somebody or blow a dude dome off, that life sentence that's waiting for you, or that death penalty is waiting for you. I faced the death penalty and I ain't break. But a lot of dudes can't face that death penalty and not break. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of dudes ain't gonna face that pimp abuse. When they get up in that office and tell them, look, man, you get the death penalty, you're gonna break. Your partner's gonna break on you. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to understand that the streets is washed up. There's no more loyalty there, man. The loyalty is you get that same crew you run the streets with, y'all go sit down and y'all put a plan together, a 5-year plan for all of y'all to get rich. It's not just about one man getting rich. Y'all gotta pull each other up, man. Make a real brotherhood, a real fraternity. Whether it's about monetary gain or social upliftment, man, y'all come together for the betterment, man. Because the gun game shit is over with.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. That was hella powerful. I love it, man. And last but not least, man, why is unity important in the community, and why is unity and loyalty is important in the community amongst brothers?
Well, shit, that's an easy one. The unity is important because I need to depend on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we was African Egyptians, I knew you. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't know you, just being from a certain area or certain a certain block. I know who you are. I know the caliber man you are. So that unity is important for us to come together. That solidarity as brothers. You know what I'm saying? To build and push forward together. But I know how you feel. I know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Your pain is my pain. Your hardship is my hardship. You know what I'm saying? My friends' enemies are my enemies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that loyalty is essential when you're trying to build with brothers, because you gotta have that trust. You don't see these white people going through that. You don't see these billionaires and these corporate offices arguing and stuff like that. And here we are arguing over a corner. You know what I'm saying? Over a couple $100. These white people, not just to say whites are not racist, but these other corporations, they make billions of dollars together. And if they argue, they settle it for the betterment of the movement. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do the same thing.
Absolutely.
We gotta do the same thing. Like, look, you in Detroit, and I'm in Chicago, and I'm in New York, and you in Miami. All right, that's 5 brothers, different places that I know I can depend on. When I come to Detroit, I'm good. When I come to Chicago, I'm good. When I come to New York, I'm good. When you come to Atlanta, you good. And that's how we build. You know what I'm saying? We build our solidarity. We come together with common interests. We put our money together and we build, because that's what they're doing. That's what everybody else is doing. The Chinese people make sure Chinese people have jobs. The Russian people make sure Russians have jobs. The Indians make sure Indians have jobs. Why don't we do that? You know what I'm saying? Why don't blacks make sure blacks have jobs?
That's the truth.
Like I said, what's my book blow up? What's it blowing up? Any dude that I write that I feel got a good story or whatever, I want to help him put his book out there, because I know how good it feels to have somebody read it, what your thoughts was you manifested, put down on paper. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, we got to come together, man. If we can't be selective, we got to come together, man, and do it. Just take the script from these other people, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't never see no big corporations arguing about, yo, why you did that and why you. No, come on, we kill each other still over colors, man. Come on, we behind. We like Neanderthals to these people. You know what I'm saying? They sit and watch us from these big corporations build us down, and it's like, look at these guys. They still doing the same old shit.
Absolutely.
We gonna pay this $1 billion building. They down there fighting over $100 corner.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. We gotta support one another. We gotta support one another.
Once you take the negativity and the crime out of it, the loyalty solidifies itself even more. Because now with this crime, like I said, you get 2 dudes that kill somebody, and the detectives grab one of them, like, they'll be giving you the death penalty. He gonna tell you everything that his partner did, because he don't want to get killed. So that's not loyalty. But the loyalty between, like, look, man, let's put this money together, open up this barbershop, we flip this money to this barbershop, then we open up this laundromat, we flip this money for this laundromat, let's put some money together, open this mom and pop. Now we got a trifecta of business. You know what I'm saying? We got 3 businesses that's official. People gotta eat, people gotta keep themselves up, and people wanna be clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to open up a mini market, but my cousin in Atlanta called All Things Vegan. We just trying to find a spot right now.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty good, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I would love to visit, because that's my next plan, and my next steps is to visit Atlanta, and to start moving around.
Oh yeah, let me know when you come down here, man. My name is Avery down here, man. I'll make sure we let the red carpet out for you, man.
You already know for sure, man.
Definitely got to go visit my man spot, man. My fan, man. Copper Cold, man. Like I said, that's the hottest restaurant right now in Atlanta, man. My partner Russ, he's doing it big, man. Young black entrepreneur, you know what I mean? Got a good crew around him, some good people around him, and he's doing his thing. That's what I want to see. These lot of young kids start taking from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't gotta be doing all that stuff in the street. There's other ways to get money, positive money, and feel good about the money that you get. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure, man. For sure. And before we wrap up, man, again, man, let the people know about the book. Let the people know about the second book that's about to drop. Also, let them know about the first book, and let them know everything that you're looking forward to.
Look, man, like I said, I just put the series out called Blood Saga series. Book 1, Blood and Loyalty, right? The second book is called Blood and Betrayal. And I'm just putting these books out to show you that we got swag. Y'all already know that. Our music is swag. Our vernacular is swag. The way we dress is swag. The way we move is swag. Our whole motion is swag. That's why they take everything from us. They copy everything that we do. So when he's putting these books out, I want y'all to see, man, that there's nothing that we can't do, right? I'm about to take over this book world. I'm about to smash down on this book. Anybody writing fantasy, just get out my way, because I'm about to do this. I just put book 1 out, Blood and Loyalty. I put book 2 out, Blood and Betrayal, on my birthday. Check it out. You never read nothing like this. If you like Game of Thrones, if you like the Virgin series, if you like Harry Potter, or you like Lord of the Rings, this is the black version of all that. My book's like a mixture of Malcolm X meets the Dragons meets Martin Luther King meets Brooklyn. Like, I mean, it's just a Nas of fantasy brought all together, and I tied up nice and tight, and the way that everybody can get it and understand it and appreciate it. And this is only the beginning, right? So, like I said, this is a 4-book series. This is the second book. You probably seen it around the internet and all that. And if you've been wondering about it, yeah, I'm a new author with this new fantasy, man. Check me out, man. Check me out.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy,
Yeah.
man. That's heavy, man. Again, another great interview with the author of Blood Sagas. Y'all heard him, Blood and Loyalty, Blood and Betrayal. This brother is doing some amazing things in the book fantasy world. These are the type things that we need to be supporting. Just like we supported Harry Potter, we need to be supporting Blood Sagas.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. My book needs to be a bestseller. And you know what? You hit it. You hit it right, because we turn all these other books into bestsellers. Let's start turning our black authors into bestsellers. Not just me, because you got a lot of female black authors that I like to follow. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we got all these black authors. Let's start turning our books into bestsellers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything wrong with the other books, but I want to see more black author bestsellers, because we got bestsellers. We get Grammys, we get Emmys, we get Oscars. So I'm saying, what's the difference with these books? You know what I'm saying? All that follow suit.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all heard it. Listen, again, the author of the book series, The Blood Sagas, Avery Brown. Listen, y'all should be checking it out. Listen, if y'all black, if you are into fantasy, man, you don't even have to be black. If you are just into fantasy books, y'all should be checking out Brother Avery Brown, The Blood Saga. So listen, brother, again, man, we thank you for coming onto the platform. We thank you for giving your spill on the books, on the community, and everything that you're doing, man. Always, man, we appreciate you. When we step down to Atlanta, I will be reaching out. And brother, man, continue to keep on writing, man. We're gonna continue to keep supporting you. And this brother is in several different editions of Black 31 magazine, so salute for that. And
thank you.
Yes, and listen, man, let's continue to build. So we are the platform of truth. We are the home of the champions and the place where you uplift man, woman, and child. Peace and love, y'all. One.
All right, peace, brother.
Peace, brother.
One. Guessing the presence of a real legend, invested in the people, so I highly stress it. Pay attention, train your mind. During these times, we need more education, not incarceration, to elevate from negativity at all costs. Knowledge and power. Remember, this game spilled, given. Embrace it. T.Y.I, Poetic G. Peace and love, one. I love it.